QA life, so we can question answer. So if you have any questions, so you can ask. And I will answer. So today is Teacher's Day in Nepal. So this morning I was quite busy. We have a Bodhisattva school, so we have been celebrating the Teacher Days from 10 a.m. till 12:30, and from around 1 p.m. So all the Nepal Repas, we celebrated the Teacher's Day. And now I'm here in front of you. So today we will more discuss or QA on the jewel ornament of Gampopa. So the questions are already printed or not? So what is the first question? Okay, let me see. So I think we have a few questions. The first one, how can I practice to purify negative action, karma from the previous life before meeting the dharma? So the question is about how to purify so just imagine that all the karma, the action, the thoughts, the speech, especially the negative karma, the negative action, through body and speech and mind, in this lifetime. So we all collected all these body, speech, mind actions, the karma, as a seed in our subconscious. In Buddhism, we call it alaya consciousness. So we collect it here in our subconscious mind. So now, when we talk about the previous life or past life, normally we talk about the subconscious as this lifetime, let's say storeroom or the earth where we plant all the seed. But in Buddhism, we call it alaya consciousness, which is much bigger than the subconscious. So subconscious mind sounds like first of all, it's a kind of below the what we call the five conscious mind. So the subconscious, it's almost like this lifetime, our storeroom or our earth where we plant the seed of body, speech, and mind. Both the negative and positive. But here his question or her question is about how to purify. So the alaya consciousness is much bigger, much bigger from many, many lifetimes storeroom where you store all the positive as well as negative karma through body, speech, and mind. So you collected all the seeds within or below the alaya consciousness mind. So now there are many ways to release it or purify it or cleansing it. So it's almost same as the way we cleanse our body, in a way we take our, way we clean our hair, way we clean our clothes. So there is a dirt, there is a dirt in the cloth, and first you need some, water to first you wait, and then you put some soap, washing soap, and then slowly again you wash it, and then all the dirty things in the cloth or in the body, so it will washed away, or inside the hair, the oily hair. So there's all the process to clean the cloth. When you wash our clothes, it's not like you just put inside the water and then it will wash. So there are many process of squeezing it, and then putting the soap to really take it out, that dirt from the cloth, and then wash it again, and squeeze it, and then maybe dry it. So um in Vajrayana, or in Buddhism, we call it like a confession. So it is a slightly different than you just go to some place and confess, in front of someone. So in Vajrayana, the practice of purification, especially the practice of purifying your previous life or negative karma, so we call it like Vajra Sattva purification, or purifying. There's a method. So I will not go too much detail into today. I will just give you some idea. Then you can really, like nowadays you can Google it or Chat GPT it, or I don't know, DeepSeek it. And there's so many AI. You can get you can go deeper to do research or to find. Because today I have to cover many questions, so I will just give you some idea. So in this Vajra Sattva purifying method, so there are what we call the 4 steps. So the first, of course, you have to regret of what you have done, all the negative karma, and some you don't remember. For example, many past life, you don't remember what you have done last life. So then how to regret? So you, of course, like first start with whatever you have done this life, and especially whatever you can remember, all the negative karma through body, speech, and mind toward father, mother, sister, brothers, teachers, colleagues, strangers, or animals, or whatever you have done. So recall all these negative actions or speech or thoughts, and really from your depth of the heart, really regret, like, oh, that was wrongdoing, that was really not right. So the deeper the regret, that you have, so that is the first the part of the purification. The regretting part is almost like a kind of almost like a taking out this negative seed, trying to bring up, or trying to kind of, the make a when we wash our clothes, so we just put into water, and first the process is you have to make the cloth wet, So it's almost like the regretting is almost like that very solid negative karma, or quite in the depth, in the deep in your subconscious or conscious mind. So it's almost like a kind of bringing up, So recalling that all the negative karma. So that's the first step. And then second step is in front of whom you are purifying it, So here the meditation is called Vajrasattva meditation. So the Vajrasattva is in front of you. The Vajrasattva is, if you don't give a form, just a light. So it's just a bright white light in front of you. So if you give a shape, so we call it like a bodhisattva, Vajrasattva. So holding a Vajra in the right hand and holding a what do we call that? The Vajra and the bell in the left hand, and radiating, the Bodhisattva in front of you. So who is not some other alien, but the Vajrasattva, Bodhisattva is your own nature of mind, is projecting outside. It's your own purest state of mind reflecting outside. So that is important. The second step is in front of Vajrasattva, who is not other than your Lama, your guru, your teacher. So it's inseparable, like a two-in-one. Let's say your spiritual teacher, Lama, and the Vajrasattva, inseparable. You have to visualize that. And then the third process is to chanting the mantra. So there are short mantra, Om, Vajra Sattva Hom. That's and there's sometimes another pronunciation in the Tibetan. They say Om Benzer Sattva Hom. So it's both are same. It's slightly different pronouncing, the Om Benzer or Om Vajra. So the Vajra is more like a Sanskrit, the pronunciation. So Om Vajra Sattva Hom or Om Benzer Sattva Hom. So you have to chant that mantra. That's a short one. So there's also 100 syllable, that the long Vajrasattva mantra. So whichever you can, chant that mantra, and while visualizing the Vajrasattva in front of you, while visualizing that mantra, no matter the short mantra or the long mantra, inside the heart chakra of the Lama Vajrasattvas. And the more you chant the mantra, so it's radiating the light from the mantra, then slowly the white nectar or the light or the blessing light, it's kind of coming from the Vajrasattva's heart chakra and through the central channel and enter into your central channel, and really like the washing away, the cleansing all the center channel and left channel and right channel and 5 chakra, the 7 chakra, the 72,000 channels, like almost like you are sitting under the some like a shower, let's say, huge shower, or under the waterfall, like you're sitting there and it's just kind of showering with the blessing and the bodhicitta, the white nectar, and cleansing all the channels and cleansing all the wind, impure wind, and then especially cleansing that all the regret that you have from past life. The blessing of the Lama Vajrasattva is purifying. So while you chant mantra, you have to really, like as you wash your clothes, you can also wash your channels, wash your mind, So that is called purification. And so there's much detailed practice, but I'm just giving you very roughly introducing you. And then the last one is what do you call this? Commitment or that I will never do it again. So it's almost like you're saying that the whatever the negative karma through body, speech, and mind, knowingly or unknowingly, or some you remember, some you don't remember, and especially like when you purify, you really think of whatever that many lifetime that what I have done negative karma in front of the Lama Vajrasattva, I feel I wanted to confess. So there's also confession is also there with the regret. So like no matter in many countless lifetime, it's for sure that we kill people. We have done so many the greatest negative karma You just name it, So during the purification, don't just stuck in this life. This life, maybe you didn't kill people, you didn't do some like a really really bad negative karma, But life is like a countless lifetime, and some lifetime we have done some great negative karma, and any negative karma you just name it, and you really confess and regret in front of Lama Vajrasattva and purify it. So that's a way to purify no matter this lifetime or the previous negative karma. And in the end, you just say I will never do it again. So this is the Vajrasattva, the fourth step. The first is this regretting or confession, and the second is the visualizing or the Lama Vajrasattva in front of you, with the mantra, in the heart chakra. And third one is to purifying it. You are chanting the mantra, and then the blessing or the showering, the purifying central channel and everything. And the third one is this commitment that you will never do it, taking a kind of oath that I will never repeat it again, that negative karma which I have done with the ignorance or unknowingly, Okay, that was the first question. Now the second question, what do you think about the idea that a Buddha consists of two things, an indestructible Vajra body and Buddha consciousness and non-attached clear mind? We hear lots about the Buddha's consciousness, but there is not much talk about the Buddha's indestructible body. So now, see, so this Buddha consciousness and indestructible Vajra body, so sometimes I'm not very familiar with the term, and I'm not very sure that what you are really asking, but I will answer it according to what I understand, and maybe we are saying the same thing. So now see, when we talk about the Vajra body or indestructible, indestructible Vajra body is nothing but the Dharmakaya. And it is nothing, but at the same time, it's a emptiness. So it is the nature of mind. So the nature of mind, it's a very interesting. The nature of mind, the Buddha nature. If you heard, the Buddha nature have a two side of Buddha nature. Let's say one is the side of clarity, luminous, radiant clarity, and also kind of awareness, like aware. And another side of Buddha nature or nature of mind is empty, shunyata. So now here, this we can see as the Buddha consciousness is more that clear light, the pure awareness, or sometimes they call it naked awareness, luminous, or sometimes they call it clear light vessel. Sometimes they even call it like an appearance, nangwa. So that is more like the Buddha consciousness. It is not that clear light or the pure appearance or that naked awareness. It's a you can think in a way. It's a very pure, let's say. There's no duality. It is realizing itself. There's no subject and object, Yet it is aware, let's say. Clear light. So that is the Buddha consciousness that you and I and everyone have, the clear light. The interesting part about this Buddha consciousness is not tiny or small or limited in a particular place or very narrow. It's just limitless, let's say. And it is not like a nothing. It's not like a empty. It is. You can say it's a something, but not think in a way like the way you and I understand the things, something. It's just there. So that Buddha consciousness is one part of the nature of mind or the Buddha nature. And now another part of the Buddha nature is, which you mention here, the indestructible Vajra body. So that is more like the empty part of the nature of mind, the shunyata part, where there is no any time and space, beyond time and space. There is no shape or color. And even there's no any clarity. It's beyond clarity or non-clarity. It's beyond naked awareness. It's beyond what do we call this? Clear light. So beyond clear light or non-clear light, let's say, or beyond consciousness itself. So now that is the shunya, the part, or you can say indestructible, the Vajra body, or shunyata. It's the same thing. Now the interesting part is the nature of mind is not only that you can think as a clear light, as a Buddha consciousness, or the awareness, or the naked awareness, not only that, and not only the Buddha nature is not the nature of mind. The truth is not only empty. So the true nature of existence, true nature of mind, when we call it like a Buddha nature, the awakened nature is the union of this Buddha conscious and indestructible body. This clear light and emptiness, and this appearance and emptiness, and then the bliss and emptiness. It should be union, the method and wisdom. There should be a union, and the union is what we call the non-dualistic. It's not like there's really two something, and then they come together and they become one. That's another, again, we are creating another concept. So it's not like there is a something two, from beginningless time. So it was always a non-dual state. Our mind is start to kind of, this is empty, this is clear light, or appearance, that's empty, that's a bliss, or that's empty. We are kind of, our dualistic mind is separating. In the reality, they were never separate. So that is like the nature of mind, the Buddha nature. The nature of all the existence. So yeah, this is so far I can answer you. So I don't know, is this what you are asking? If not, you can still, if you are there, you can comment on, you can okay. So now there's a third question. Someone said, when you write the question, is there some people's name or not? Is there? So I think better write the people's name, so that way are difficult to.
It's like
Maybe.
exact names.
Okay. So it's good that if you have your name, so then I can read your name, who is asking the question. Okay, the third question is, please could you enter more in detail about why self-grasping is the root cause of suffering? Now see, the self-grasping or self-clinging or self-attach, the self-attachment is the root cause of suffering. So the question is like explain more detail why, or talk about this why the self-grasping is the root cause of suffering. See, now this is very good question, and you guys are really good questioners. Now there's a few things we have to focus. The one is suffering, suffering. So another here is say the cause of the suffering, or the root cause of the suffering, not just ordinary cause of the suffering, but the root cause of the suffering. And this who is the root cause of the grasping, clinging, the self-grasping, not just grasping to any other object, or not just clinging to any object, but really clinging or grasping the self. That is the main cause, the root cause of suffering. So try to put these three together, understand these three. Okay, suffering, root cause of suffering, and the self-clinging. How the self-clinging is the root cause of suffering. Now, see, there are countless suffering. There are so many different variety of suffering, from hell realm to God realm, and there's in human realm. So there's and if you write it down, all the name of the suffering in this world, I mean, maybe it's more than maybe this huge dictionary. The name of the variety of the suffering. So let's not go to so many countless the name of the suffering. But the question here is, who is suffering? And what is he or she suffering? So did you notice that there is a sufferer who is suffering? That means the subjective, that person or that mind. So there is a experiencer, the subjective. I think we have to close the door. So there's this subjective experiencer, that particular, that who is experiencing this suffering, and there's an object. There's an object of that experience of suffering, the suffering itself. So now, no matter how many categories of sufferings are there, but the one thing is for sure, there is a sufferer. Do you see that? There is the subjective sufferer, and there is an objective suffering. So that is nothing but the duality. Did you see that? There's a duality. subject and object as a separate, and because of this duality, and that one is experiencing the suffering. Do you see that? So the all the problems, the root cause of all the problem is the duality. So that's why the Mahamudra, the Dzogchen meditation is non-duality meditation. Non-duality, it's a yoga. It's a guru yoga. It's a union of this subject and object. So the nature of mind, the Buddha nature is not other than a union, the union of this clear light and the emptiness. Did you see that? It's all about union. So when it becomes separate, then samsara and nirvana, there will be a, I am in samsara, I need the nirvana, I need to liberate, So there's always this, the whole thing is happening in duality. The whole six samsaras are in the duality. All the problems are in the duality. But when there is a no duality, when there is non-duality, so there is no experiencer and experience as a separate. Okay, now you understand that whatever the category of suffering, it's because of the duality. There is an experiencer and experience as a separate. Okay, the duality is the problem of the suffering. Now, the most important thing is, okay, what has to do with this duality and self-clinging? This is very important here. What is connection between self-clinging? Because your question is, all the suffering, is it the root cause is the self-grasping? What I said is all the suffering, the root cause is duality. Now how to connect this dot? I said the root cause of suffering is a duality. And your question is, explain us all the root cause of suffering is the self-grasping. So now, let me explain you a little bit more in a detail. So let's try to understand. So let's what do you call this? Dive little deeper. Dive little deeper. Now, let's try to understand the dream. Let's say you had a nightmare, and like a really, really disturbing dream. But if you really calm down, and if you do investigate in the dream, that whatever that in the dream, let's say if some animal is chasing you, a tiger or lion or even a ghost, the ghosts are chasing you in the dream, and you are just running. So now the interesting part in the dream, those you are fear of, those you are running from, they are really not there as a separate from you. And who is running? Yourself is also not separate from your consciousness. So what I'm trying to say is, in the dream, the dreamer, the form of the dream, the body of the dream is nothing but the mind itself. And then whoever is chasing you is not other than your own mind. So what does that mean is, there is really no duality, which means there's not really separate as a runner and a chaser are not a separate. They are just a mind. They're just your subconscious mind, just manifesting as a chaser and somebody's running. Do you understand, all of you? It's a very profound, and please give a little, focus and attention, and then you will understand. So now the interesting part is that in the dream, you didn't realize you're dreaming. Did you see that? You didn't realize you're dreaming. And you didn't realize whatever you are seeing outside as a separate than you, include everything, like a wall, the sky, the water, the mountain, the father, the mother, the sister, the daughter, the enemies, the colleagues, everything, everyone. That you assume they are separate from you in the dream. But the reality is, you are not separate from them, they are not separate from you. Do you understand that? There is just mind in a dream. There's a just mind. It's just a subconscious. There's nothing. Even the space between you and your father in the dream, space between you and your mother or the mountain, it is also not separate from you. It's also your own subconscious. So interestingly, once you realize in the dream, you will be so surprised. There's no fear anymore. There's no fear. Like if you have so much nightmare, once you realize you are dreaming, that means you are awakened in the dream. You start to realize everything is just illusion. It's not real. And if you really investigate little deeper, you will realize that there's nothing called separate. There's not really you, I, he, she, it in the dream. It's just manifestation, but there's no any separation. It's all your subconscious mind. Nobody is chasing. Nobody is running. Do you understand that? It's a really beautiful. So why I'm explaining this? Why I'm explaining this? Because we were talking about the suffering. The root cause of suffering is self-grasping, and I said the root cause of suffering is the duality. So now you have to understand that. Because as soon as you see in the dream, because right now, so-called the reality is not separate from the dream. It's really the whole function. The way you perceive the world is exactly same like a dream. I guarantee you, for example, when you are dreaming, when you see your mother, father, sister, brother, mountain, house, what really happening is you are seeing in your subconscious mind, and the back part of the brain is activated. So while you open your eyes, so-called in a reality, let's say reality or awaken, the waking time, let's say. Now the way you perceive the world is not separate from the dream, because even right now you open your eyes, you're looking at this screen. The image right now appearing is not really outside, or not on the eye. It's again the image right now you are seeing is inside your mind. It's very interesting. Even the sound you're hearing is you're hearing the inner sound. Do you see that? So the whole point here is when we talk about the duality, is the root cause of suffering. This is what I mean. In the dream, you didn't realize it's all non-duality, but you are kind of separating your own consciousness in the dream as a subjective experiencer, an objective that's who is giving the experience. All this subject and object in the dream, and then you are creating this suffering, let's say, in the dream. In the reality, there is nobody. It's only the conscious, the subconscious in the dream. So there you are creating this duality, and then all suffering is beginning, arising, let's say. Okay, now one thing we come to understand, so the duality is coming out of mind. You keep this in mind. The duality is coming out of mind. Mind is creating this duality, subject and objective. Especially the person who is suffering. Now, regarding this self-grasping or self-clinging, now what is self? That is the big question mark. Who am I? Or what is self? It's the same question. Who am I? What is self? In order to clinging, see here, your question is grasping, the self-grasping or the self-clinging. The first question is, what is self? What is I? Who am I? So now this is so beautiful here. The reality of our body, let's begin with our body. Each and every cell or each and every molecule in our body, each and every, what you call the neutron, the proton, the electron, or even the quarks are impermanent. It's just changing every the nanosecond. They are just changing. Do you know what does that mean? Changing means it's just letting go the old and arising the new. It's letting go the old, arising the new. So did you see that? That's really like a gone and just arising the new. It's gone and arising the new. It's what's happening with our body. There's not one ultimate truth. It just come and go, come and go. Now, the interesting part is how we are self-grasping according to our body. So, for example, if you from the scientifically, when you really check every cell in your body, there is no cell from 5 years old Chogyal Rinpoche. There's no. It's just everything is new. But can you imagine that I still believe the 5 years old Chogyal Rinpoche is me, especially from the physical part in the body is me. 10 years old Chogyal Rinpoche, that was me. 15 years, that was me. 30 years old Chogyal Rinpoche, that was me. I'm talking about the physical body, Oh, the 35 years old, the 40 years old, the yesterday Chogyal Rinpoche's body, this is the same body. But the reality is, as I told you, everything is impermanent. It's just bam, 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 bam. But what we are really doing is grasping, is we are holding. We are believing, it's a big illusion, but we are really creating this chain of 30, 40 years of chain. And we are thinking that yesterday I was me. Do you see that yesterday's cell was still here? It's the same. But in reality, it's not the same. But the grasping is that, I'm just creating an illusion of 40 years, the same Chogyal Rinpoche, continue today. But the reality is not like that. The same with our sensation, same with our feeling, the same with our mind. Our mind is also it just every thought, is impermanent. It's just one thought arises. As soon as it arises, it's impermanent. It's just gone. And another thought arises. But unfortunately, we are grasping. See, that's important. The self is, there is no self. There is no I. That is the truth. That's why we call it shunyata, emptiness. There's no I, there's no self. What does that really mean? What does that really mean? There's no self, there's no I. So there is no self or there's no I means there's no that kind of individual permanent body, permanent mind, like a atma, soul as a. There's no any. The Buddha really like a clearly, the statement. There is no soul as a solid, permanent. No, there's no mind or body or feeling. Everything is impermanent. So that's the most important teaching of Buddha. The impermanent, gone. So there is no permanent self. There's no continuity self. There's no continuity I. So now self-grasping, what does that really mean is you are creating a self. Listen very carefully. You are creating a self. Not real self, illusion self. There's no I, but you are creating an I. Not a real I, the illusion I. Okay, what kind of illusion I? What kind of illusion self? Is continuity. Like you are grasping, you are making a illusion chain of, oh, yesterday, oh, 10 years ago, me, my body, my feeling, my sensation, my mind, it's the same. No, but you are creating. So that's why we call it, it's an illusion. So now the interesting about this, as soon as you are self-grasping, from there the duality is arising. Now, listen very carefully. Now, see, for example, one experience arises. In the reality, that experience, as soon as it arises in the mind, and it just dissolved, it just gone. Let's say, as soon as it arises and it's gone. And then the next thought or next experience is arising. Listen very carefully. Now, when the next experience arises, in the reality, it's a self-realizing, self-aware, and self-liberation. This is the nature of mind. Every thought, every feeling, every sensation, there is this nature, the natural state is pure. So now, as soon as, listen very carefully, there is an experience arises, it's gone. But the next experience or the thoughts arise, and now you are kind of, you think, you are assuming, you're in the illusion, you're assuming that I am experiencing that which is just gone, that experiencing, I am experiencing. So now you are, because of self, first you create the self, which is totally illusion, not existent, not real. But first you create the illusion self. Second, you're grasping or clinging or connecting with this chain. And third, now you are assuming that I, which is just arise, that new thought, mind, is experiencing, which is just gone. Did you see that? And because of that, here, that now you are experiencing suffering. Do you understand that? Now, how you are suffering? Because of the duality. Where the duality is coming from? Because of the self-clinging. Because there's no self, no I. You're creating a self out of nowhere. And then you're clinging, you're connecting, and then you are attesting to the past experience, which is not there. You are just creating again. And that's I would say the self-grasping is the root cause of suffering. And the meditation, what is really meditation is doing is, the meditation is really coming back to this, what we call this, the moment of now, the moment of the truth. In that, when arising and dissolving is happening same time. There's no past, there's no future. Do you see that? It's just arising and dissolving at the same time. So the meditation bring you to see the reality, the shamatha meditation. And then the hlaktung, the vipassana meditation, is self-realizing that truth. And that is the nature of mind. So I hope I explained the self-grasping of the problem. So here we have okay, here we have 3 questions. Okay, so we have to make the answer short now, And Indra Neil Banerjee asked this question: how to do more dakini practice intensely? I'm a working person. I try to maintain regularity, but sometimes working pressure is tremendous. Now, there are a few points we have to keep in mind. One is the dakini. The dakini, the female deity, the female archetype, or female energy, or female shakti, or the pragya, wisdom, manifests as in the form of dakini. So the dakini practice. So other point is, she's a working person, which is she have a job like a 9 to 5, or maybe so she's busy, let's say, and she's practicing every day, but there's a pressure of working, stress, anxiety, pressure, so on and so forth, and she's not trying not able to keep this, maintaining the regularity of practice of dakini. So now you have to understand something, all of you. So here the Indra Neil Banerjee. The first of all, who is dakini? You have to understand this. Who is dakini? The way you are kind of describing is dakini is some particular deity, or as some kind of alien, separate from you, and you have to practice her in regularity, and your work is separate. Your work is like separate from the dakini, But that is the slightly here, I think, misunderstanding about the dakini. So let me first clarify who is dakini. So dakini is, not other than your own nature of mind, your own true nature of mind, your inner, the Buddha nature, or your ultimate truth or natural state of mind. So dakini is not some separate alien. You have to practice her. No, don't misunderstand that. Then there will be a huge, problem, big problem, because see, as soon as you understand that dakini is not separate from you, not other than your own nature of mind, then what you really understand is, you can't say, oh, last night when I was sleeping, I was separate from my nature of mind. Oh, while I was working, I have been going through so much working pressure, so I was separate from my nature of mind. No matter you are happy or suffering or sleeping or working or angry or shouting or crying, or no matter you are jumping, or the nature of mind can't be separate from you. Do you understand that? So that means the dakini can't separate from you. Your truth, your true nature, your purest awareness is the nature of mind, is the Rigpa, she is the dakini. The pragya is the dakini. So first really try to understand this, and this way you will understand the practice of dakini. So once you understand that, the sadhana you are talking about, the practice, the visualization, the chanting of mantra, the what do you call, the generating and the completion or dissolving in the chirim and zokrim. So that's a sambhoga kaya part of the practice. But the dharma kaya dakini, which is the nature of mind, that is more important. So that's why every sadhana there is a chirim and zokrim, the generating and then the completion. The completion is the essence of the dakini practice. The completion means coming back to nature of mind. So it's almost like a self-introducing the nature of mind. Do you understand that? So please, the resting in the rigpa, that resting in this, resting means you don't have to really try anything. You don't have to put any effort. Even the while you are in a working pressure, the nature of mind is always there. You can't be separate. Equally, dakini can't be separate from you. So once you understand that you're already practicing the dakini, practicing, even you could not do a sitting meditation. This is what you are talking. I understand that. Even you couldn't really, even you miss few sitting meditation, but if you really realize the nature of mind is the ultimate dakini, just by knowing that, that's it. You are practicing dakini while you are going through working pressure. Do you understand that? Okay? So that is more important. And time to time, do a sitting meditation. That also helps. I'm not saying don't do sitting meditation. Let's do it. But if you miss few, it's not a big problem. Because you are the dakini. Do you understand that? Okay? Now the second question here, the name is Trend. Is it the name? Adarsh Sherpa? The Adarsh Lama. Okay. So Adarsh Lama asks, Rinpoche, I have heard we should activate the both subjective clear light and objective clear light. Does meditating on the Buddha nature activate the both? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Adarsh Lama. So now see. So the question is activating, the both subjective clear light and objective clear light. So there is activating the subjective clear light, objective clear light, and there is a Buddha nature, which can activate the both. So now see, first of all, there is not something called subjective clear light and objective clear light. Do you understand? There's not such a thing. But if you realize the clear light, here the clear light means the awareness without attachment. So listen very carefully. Awareness without clinging, awareness without attachment, awareness without self, awareness without self-grasping, clinging. Do you understand that? The awareness without creating the self, awareness without creating this illusion chain of past and future, present and future. So that awareness, like a not fabricated awareness. Do you see that? So the natural state of mind is the clear light. So once you realize, or once you letting go all this clinging, craving, attaching, and you are naturally settling down in this natural state, self-aware, and the awareness without the self, without the clinging, without the grasping, let's say. So once you realize that, now listen very carefully. At the same time, you will also realize everything what you are seeing is not other than your mind. Everything what you are hearing is not other than your mind. Anything you are smelling, you're experiencing, you're testing. Do you see that? So all this, the object of five sense or five consciousness are not separate from the five consciousness. So once you realize that everything so-called the object is not other than what? The natural, not other than the mind. That mind is, without the self grasping, without the illusion self. So it's a what we call the clear light. That object is also clear light, and whomever is like a kind of perceiving this the five object, the five mind or five consciousness, it's not. It's already it's not separate from the object. And then that experiencer is not other than the nature, the natural state of mind. Do you see that? And itself is the clear light. So in that understanding, you can say, oh, subjective clear light and objective clear light, but not as a real, there is outside, there's, oh, this is subjective clear light, this is objective clear light. No. So that's why there's not like a kind of subjective clear light to be activated and objective clear light to be activated, but the clear light itself, itself is the, here you say Buddha nature activate both. No, the clear light itself is the one side of the coin, the one side of the nature of mind. And emptiness is the another side of the nature of mind. And if you really think there is a when I say two sides, it's almost like there's two things in one, but it's not really like that. It's just way of describing it, But it's inseparable. There's emptiness in clear light. You can't separate it as a separate. And that is the Buddha nature, So in the when you realize the Buddha nature, I mean, you could, in your term, you say activating. So you can say, yeah, activating the clear light and activating the emptiness once you realize the nature of mind. Okay, now the third one, there's a Nimao with asks this question, Tashi Delek, I have some question if you allow me. Then my question is, Lama or your root guru can liberate our consciousness into the Sukhavati. Okay. So the Nima Ozer is, I think he is asking about the Poa, blessing that like the Lama or the good root guru, that he or she can liberate us, liberate our consciousness into the Sukhavati. The Sukhavati means the Pure Land of Amitabha, where all the bodhisattvas are there, where people mostly go after, death, the consciousness, entering into the Sukhavati, where everything is so beautiful, where it's like almost like a very beautiful dream, middle of the beautiful flowers, beautiful ponds, the lake, the small river, the waterfall, beautiful mountains, the beautiful peoples, the beautiful sounds. I mean, it's just everything is just perfect in that so-called the good dream sometimes we have. So the Sukhavati, like a Sukha means like a pure and happiness and bliss. The Sukhavati is the pure land, the bliss land, the happiness land. So now the question here is, can one Lama and there is one student or sentient beings, and now the Lama and then the sentient beings, now the using the technique called Poa, Poa is the technique, the method to use, and that consciousness of that sentient beings kind of pull and bring him or her to the Amitabha, purest, happiest, joyous land. Now, listen very carefully. This is very important. Listen very, very carefully. Not every Lama can do that. Not every Lama can do that. It's a very few great Mahasiddhas, they are able to do this. And only when you have a karmic connection with him or her, then he or she can do it. Otherwise, it's difficult. And now the interesting part about the karmic connection, that sentient beings also need the conditions. There is a saying, when you are fishing, you can't, let's say there is a fish like a stone, there's nothing to hook on. It's just stone. The stone, there's no hole. It's just a plain stone. No matter 100 years you are kind of fishing inside that kind of lake or pond or river, nothing will come and nothing can hook, because there's no place to hook. All the fish are like a stone. So, if the sentient beings, they don't have a the good karma, let's say, there's no devotion toward the Lama, there's no connection to the Lama, or the sentient beings have so much negative karma, Lama can't do anything. No matter the greatest Lama also can't do anything, because there's no hook. At least you need some hook, so that when the Lama is the bliss can hook on your devotion, your merit, your condition, and then can be pulled up. Let's say it's almost like I am stuck in somewhere under the ground, and some people come to help me, and they throw the rope, or they are giving the hands to me, but I'm just not moving. I don't want to give my hands. I don't want to hold that rope. Nobody can help you. Even the helicopter comes in, they can't do anything. But you also have to bring your hands up for help. Do you see that? Or to hold. So, in order to the Lama or the root guru to really to help us, help our consciousness to bring into Sukhavati, you need a good merit, first of all. Your mind should be a little clean, which means less negative karma. And you should have a little devotion toward your Lama, so that Lama's blessing can be received. The first. And second, the important part here, we must know that Lama is not human being. Today, this afternoon, here we are going the Teachers' Day in Nepal. So many Nepali Repas come this afternoon. So I was also kind of explaining them that Lama, is not some individual, separate human being. Lama is your own nature of mind. Lama, the ultimate Lama, is not other than your nature of mind, your dharmakaya. Your purest awareness is the ultimate Lama. But now you are not able to see that, and the Lama is kind of projecting outside. It's almost like your nature of mind is projecting outside in a human form. And that human form is kind of guiding you toward your inner Lama. Do you see that? It's so beautiful. So you have to understand that Lama is not some superpower being outside, a smart being. Then that's a big problem. So once you realize the Lama and the root Lama is not other than your own nature of mind, just by knowing that, right on the time of death, let's say, right on the time of death, you are exhaling the last breath. In that very moment, you think of Lama Cheno, Lama Keno. You think of Lama, and that same moment, you realize Lama is not some other separate human being, it's my nature of mind. Bang, that's it. That very moment, the Lama, like a kind of, liberate this dualistic consciousness from the samsara to the directly to the Sukhavati. So Sukhavati can be a physical place, can be a non-physical place. Do you understand that? So then in the Guru Rinpoche, the Padmasambhava said, once you realize the Lama is not other than your nature of mind, when the time of death, bang, you exhale and you think of Lama, you miss the Lama, that's it. You will directly receive the Dharmakaya enlightenment. That instantly you will be awakened. Do you understand that? And that is Dharmakaya, what do you call that, enlightenment. And you are talking about the Sukhavati as a physical place. That's more like the Nirmanakaya, that you are kind of going there. Okay, so that's a good question. Now there is a few other questions, so I will make it short. And I think now we will not take too many questions, so we will just now. Here the Om Devotions asks the question, my question for you, how to break the spell of ego? See, the Buddha said there is a 3-way to break the spell of ego. Shila, Samadhi, Pragya. Shila means discipline. Discipline your body, discipline your speech, mouth, discipline your mind. So that means mindful of your body, speech, and mind. Do you see that? So the more you are disciplined, your body, speech, and mind, we call it like a shila, the precept. There's a 5 precept, 8 precept, there are hundreds of precepts, like a 200, 300, the bhikkhu, the monks, So all these precepts are nothing but really disciplining your life. Not like a just saying nonsense, doing nonsense, thinking nonsense. Then you will be disturbed. Your ego will be expand. So the first rule of this breaking the spell of the ego is the discipline, the precept, the shila. Mindful of your speech, action, and thinking. Okay, once this is done and you're doing good, you're very serious about your discipline or your precepts. So now, based on that, and slowly you meditate. The second is Shila. Samadhi means meditation. Meditate a lot. So through meditation, your mind will calm and peace and one-pointedness and more mindful, more calm, more quiet. So now, when your mind is totally distracting and your mind is totally exhausted, depressed and anxiety and stress, then ego will be expand again. Do you see that? You can't break the ego. It's a huge, big ego. So through the meditation, your mind becomes subtlest, and more subtlest. So now, ego is nothing but the mind itself. Do you see that? There is no ego separate from the mind. When the mind becomes subtle and subtlest, now it's a tiny mind means tiny ego. Do you see that? So now the Shila, Samadhi, Pragya means the wisdom. So normally you use the shamatha meditation in this shine meditation in the samadhi, and then in the shila, samadhi, pragya, in the wisdom you use the hlaktong meditation, the vipassana meditation. So now this tiniest, subtlest the mind. So when you go even deeper investigation, this subtlest mind, you will be surprised when you open the subtlest mind. It's a mindless state, and that is called egoless state. That's so beautiful. That's a laktong. That's a insight. It's a wisdom. It's a self realizing, self liberating. That's a liberating, literally. The shila, samadhi, and the pragya, you're liberating, which means ego-less. That means ego broke. You understand? That's shila, samadhi, pragya. It's the way to break the spell of ego. Okay, now there is a question from the karma dima, right? Okay. Kuzu Zangbola Rinpoche. I think it's from Bhutan, right? Kuzu Zangbola. I've been in Bhutan a few times, and I have many classmates in the Buddhist Institute. There are some Bhutanese, so they always say this Kuzu Zangbola means how are you? Tashidele is the same. Okay, I have an earnest question. As soon as I wake up, my mind insistently, what does that mean? Think about sorry? Insistently think about what is that? What not things? What not things. So, and usually lead to unhealthy emotion. I need some help in calming my mind. So the Yeah, the constantly, yeah, my mind is constantly thinking about what not things. So now see, karma dima la kuzuzangbo, So now, first of all, as soon as we wake up, of course we should not turn on our mobile, We should not watch some, TikTok or other YouTube reels, as soon as you wake up. And I'm sure, Kamadime, you are not doing that, So, if let's say, if you, as soon as you wake up, if this the unhealthy, the emotions, unhealthy thoughts, let's say, or negative thoughts, if it's arising, I would suggest maybe it's a lack of sleep, and maybe maybe you're sleeping late, or maybe you're watching some reels or videos or whatever before you go to bed. So it's so important that the before, first of all, it's important what time you sleep. It's a different body type, so some body really need to sleep earlier. So you have to really check your body what time is suitable for you to sleep, so that you get a really good rest in the whole night. So the first of all, better sleep early, not too late. And secondly, don't watch movie or mobile before you go to bed. That is my really suggestion. So before you go to bed, at least half hour, or 1 hour possible. So really start to calm down your mind. Maybe meditate. Maybe read a book. Maybe just relax. But not really watching movie, or of course not horror movie. So that way your mind will settle down more quietly, entering into the sleep. So, and once you enter into the sleep, so your dream. Sometimes the people, when we wake up, they have this negative kind of natural thoughts because of the nightmare, because of this disturbing sleeping, lead to nightmare, and nightmare lead to when you wake up, and it maybe some people don't remember the dream, but it's a disturbing. And then as soon as you wake up, it's just kind of naturally you're upset, negative thoughts, mood off, and that will lead to negative emotions. So I would suggest, really, before you go to bed, meditate if possible, or read some positive book, or calm down and try with these things. And then like if you adjust your sleep, then it will naturally adjust your like a dream, the content of the dream. And then as soon as you wake up, once your body is really like a fully rest and not exhausted, then your mind is like a little bit much easier, let's say easy. And then it's the difficult to arise some negative thoughts and emotions. So the another what I wanted to say, the karma team, or all of you, see what I use the technique. As soon as you wake up, don't open your eye. As soon as you wake up, don't open your eyes, and think of, because in Bhutan the Chenrezig, na? Avalokiteshvara, yeah. So just think of Chenrezig, or whomever you think, or the Manjushri, the Jampiyang, or Dolma, the green Tara. So think of one Bodhisattva or Chenrezig, just really like this radiate, brilliant light of Chenrezig, the quality of Chenrezig, the compassion, the loving kindness. And chant the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Like mentally, you can chant, you don't have to verbally, mentally. So that will also really kind of bring the positive, vibration in your mind, and then slowly you open your eyes. You're already recharged with the compassion, loving kindness, bodhisattva, and I'm pretty sure that will not going to lead you to negative emotions. Try those things. Okay, now that's all for today. And so thank you, all of you, to come and join this QA question. So it looks like you didn't really ask the particular question from the jewel ornament, from what I said, that chapter 1 to chapter 6. So that is good sign. That means like you are understanding the Gampopa's chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you understand, then of course there's no questions. But anyway, I will try to live as much as I can. And I really wish that you buy the book or maybe find an online PDF file, and really try to go through the text, because I'm giving you this summary. I was planning to just first give a summary and then go through the words by words, but I think that is not really necessary, because the book itself is the Gampopa, the jewel ornament, is not that complicated, but you need some overview and summary and the essence of the text. And then when you follow with me, so you go through the detail. That's a very easy to understand. There is the Takpo Tharjan in Tibetan, you call, and Bhutan also you have, So you can also get in a Dzongkha, the Gampopas, the jewel ornament in Takpo Tharjan, or in English, or in your own language. And I really wish you follow the YouTube. I'm pretty sure you all are subscribed. If you are not subscribed, you subscribe, and then share these teachings to other friends in wherever you have access. It's a good to learn together. So the QA session is especially for you go through the text, and if something you don't understand, like, okay, Rinpoche didn't explain this, and I try to understand, but I'm not really able to understand this part. So then you write it down. So next time when we do QA, so ask me, okay, in the fifth chapter, and this particular maybe the classification of particular suffering. So I don't understand this part. Can you please explain me more? So then I can explain you. Do you understand that? Good luck. Sonam de thamje sekba ni thomne nye pen dan ambam je jing je ga na chi bala tok by sipe solendo wan tolwar show. May you all liberate from this illusion suffering. May you all realize your ultimate the nature of mind, the ultimate truth. And may you all enlighten, become a Buddha in this lifetime, and that all the teachings, the merit of teachings, or merit of listening, so all I'm dedicating to all of you, each one of you listener. So may you all enlighten in this very lifetime, and may you become a great bodhisattva and liberate countless sentient beings, and may you become a good human being, good husband, the good wife, the good daughter, the good son, the good sister, the good brothers, and the good human being will bring so much joy and happiness around him or her. So may you become that good, compassion, loving kindness human being. And see you next time, and study the jewel ornament Takpo Tharjan together, and may we all grow together, and may all we bring a peace in the world. Namaste, Kuzu Zangbu.